All right, welcome to another episode of the Jumping the Rail podcast here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is Mark Redmond coming to you from the Noodles position in Champaign, Illinois, joined as always by my buddy Minderz.
And
And
Kevin.
what?
And Kevin.
Oh, it was Kevin in the. Hi, Kevin. Minderz, we got a lot of shit to talk about today.
We got a lot of picks. We don't
got
have
a
a
lot
lot of shit to talk about. But we got a lot of picks.
This is true. And StreamYard changed the layout on this thing, so I had to relearn everything in the media.
That's what was wrong with you.
It's been a day.
Yeah, that's what you told me.
But
why are you so far off to the side?
Because I'm leaning against my desk here. I mean,
just yourself.
I tend to lean to the left, and that doesn't do well with this desk. All right, is this better?
That's better.
Okay.
It just looked like you were trying to escape. Maybe you are. I don't know. Well, Sean's in here. He's saying there's only 2 matches for Great American Bash. And
I've got 3.
I thought there was more than that.
We have 3. But we will be making picks.
Hold on, Sean.
We will
get there. We got business to take care of.
All right. I feel like today you should be checking my brain, Minderz, but that's not how this works. So
nope.
So if you're ready, and I think I found an easy one for today, just to get away from the hassle.
Gotcha.
All right. Here we go. All right. It is time for Name That Wrestler. Minderz, you know how this works. I show you a picture. You guess who it is. That's really about the extent of it.
That's the extent of it.
All right. This is a color photograph of a current professional wrestling star, Minderz.
Okay.
And I don't think it's going to take you long to get this one.
Okay. Last time you said that, I think it took me like 4 guesses.
I think so, but I wasn't also hacking up a lung when I put this up, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
All right, here we go.
Seriously, Reb, I love you, but seriously?
I told you it was an easy one.
This is a very easy one.
I gave you a break.
Seth freaking Rollins. I'm sorry, Seth Franklin Rollins.
I thought he was supposed to be getting rid of the Franklin, or the freaking, or the...
I don't know. Maybe he is. Now it's Monday Night Rollins.
It's always been Monday Night Rollins just because, it's a pun.
One of your favorite things.
I do enjoy a good pun. I think I enjoy wordplay more than puns, but...
That's true. Yes. I've heard some really good dad jokes. I'll have to remind me. I'll tell you off air.
All right. Well, Minderz...
Page show.
Page show. There you go. All right. Well, let's get into our headlines for this week. All right.
Is that you like ferociously typing on your own computer and you just recorded it?
I actually found that in the iMovie, like sound effect.
Huh. All right. I got my soup shirt on.
Soup. Hey, how about that soup? We get to see the premiere on GCW a couple weeks ago.
Not to mention, I mean, it's Tomorrow Talk, but Dreamwave new guys had to relinquish their belts.
Yep.
And Premier's
not Stanley.
Yeah, Premier's up for getting the belts, so I'm excited.
Yep. All right. Well, Minderz, let's get into our headlines here. We've got our.
Never tell me what the headlines are.
Because I want to get an organic reaction from you.
I get to find out with everybody else.
That's true. All right. First up, from Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling.
Hey, Carson. Sorry.
All right. So, Tom Latimer retained the NWA World Heavyweight Championship against Matt Cardona at MLP Resurrection this weekend in a very good match.
Hurry! Good. I'm glad. I like that Tom Latimer.
Me too. And you like his wife?
I like his wife. I do. He is a sweetheart. He wasn't bad. He was a nice guy too.
He's kind of a chill guy.
Would you just hack it up and get it over with? Yeah. See, he's gonna mute himself because that was getting kind of nasty. But yeah, Tom Latimer, super excited he got to keep that. So AJ will be happy because Mick Cardona didn't get the belt. So that's exciting. I think we're about there. I think he's there. Are you back?
I am back. All right. But yeah,
I was talking about how excited AJ probably is.
Oh, I heard you. I had me muted, not you.
Oh, okay. But I figure AJ is ecstatic.
Yeah. It's not a hairball, but it feels like it. All right. Headline number 2. New Japan Pro Wrestling News, Minderz. Tiger Mask has announced that in July of 2026, he will be retiring from professional wrestling.
Another year.
Well, I mean, he can't retire this year because that's Tanahashi's retirement year.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But it makes me wonder, are they going to, does this mean we're going to get Tiger Mask 5?
I mean, we should. Because this is Tiger Mask 4.
Uh-huh. And I don't think they're going to retire the gimmick. They've got a plethora of young lions down there that could put the mask on.
Well, I'm sure they probably do, but it's got to be one that knows what he's doing, but also not well known for the simple fact that you don't want to hide somebody that's already popular.
Right. Like Misawa was one of the Tiger Masks. He was Tiger Mask 2, but that was before we knew who Misawa was.
Yeah, true.
All right.
Sorry, my phone keeps yelling at me and it's ticking me off.
Oh, you're fine. AEW news, All In. I got to give AEW something.
You can give them some. I mean, we're making picks later, so aren't we?
We are. But basically, the main event of All In has been made official. It will be Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page in a Texas death match in Texas.
Oh, if you could have seen, you didn't watch this? I know you didn't watch this. If you would have seen how all that came about, it was kind of ridiculous.
I saw the promo from Hangman.
Okay. Did you see the other part about Kevin? Don't you even jerk? He's talking about my phone. Anyway, yeah, it was AEW. That's all I can say. It was AEW.
Fair enough. All right. Well, moving on, WWE news. We'll talk about this a little more when we talk about Raw, but the Kabuki Warriors have reunited Minderz, and they are going to be in the Tag Team Championship match at Evolution.
I feel like we called that last week.
I think that was one of the ones we threw out there, yeah.
I feel like this is something we suggested.
I think we suggested all the teams in that match.
I think so. There was one team that I wasn't excited about, but...
Is it the SmackDown team?
Yeah. And it's not... We'll talk about it later.
That'll kind of go into our Top 10 Tuesday later also.
You didn't even tell me what Top 10 Tuesday
was. It's on the list I sent you.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it is.
Apparently, I don't pay that close of attention.
All right. Last headline, we have another New Japan item. The field is officially set for the G1 Climax this year. Tournament starts on July 19th. The big substitution Taichi is in the tournament, replacing Hiroki Goto, who was injured. Again, that's around the time that he lost the belt to Sabre Jr., who will be not defending the championship, but he will be the champion in the tournament.
Okay, just looking at some of these, I don't know who some of these are.
Let's run these down here. Hiroshi Tanahashi.
I know that one.
It's going to be his last G1. You got Taichi.
Right.
Yuya Uemura, who's a TNA guy.
Okay.
He was one of Dreamer's pet projects in TNA.
Gotcha.
Bolton Oleg, Yota Tsuji from Los Ingobernables de Japón. If that's still a thing, because Naito and Bushi are both gone from there.
Right.
Ryohei Oiwa, who I'm not real familiar with. I think he's one of the young guys.
Yeah, I looked at that and said, don't ask me to pronounce that one.
Uh-huh.
I can't pronounce half of these anyway. So.
Callum Newman, I think you could pronounce that one. I'm not real familiar with him.
I think I can handle David Finlay too.
Yeah, David Finlay.
That one looks pretty easy.
Hell of a match for him in MLP this weekend. Him and Drilla Maloney against the Good Brothers.
Mm.
But yeah, Evil and Sonata rounding out the A block. Then Shota Umino, who was Reno's Moxley's protege in Japan.
Yeah.
But I think better than Moxley, to be honest with you. El Phantasmo, who is the TV champion at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yoshihashi. then my two personal favorites in this whole tournament, Shingo Takagi and Zack Sabre Jr. Great Okan. Who have you've seen Okan, haven't you?
I don't know if I have or not.
He was Jeff Cobb's tag partner.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't seen.
Yeah. Gabe Kidd, who
I like that Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, even though he's with the Death Riders.
Yeah, but I like that Gabe Kidd.
Drilla Maloney, who I was just talking about, him teaming with Finley. Ren Narita, who I think is Red Shoes' son, if I remember right.
Okay.
And then Konosuke Takeshita is running up the B block. Because I think
why are my two favorites in the B block?
Takeshita and Kid?
No, I wouldn't put Kid that high up.
Sabre
ZSJ,
Jr.?
yeah. ZSJ.
But that means we're going to get Takeshita and Sabre Jr. in this tournament.
That's true. I know we are, but because they have to face everybody, right? They do
it's round robin. Yeah.
Okay.
A block faces everybody. All of A block, B block.
A block faces A block, B block faces B block.
Yeah. And I love the G1 sport. I know people talk shit about tournaments, but this is like the OG tournament.
This is a different one. To me, this isn't the same as all the other stupid tournaments that they do. Like you said, this is more of the original one. This has always been kind of the up and comers and
this
guys
is one that sets up the next year of wrestling.
Pretty much, yeah. So I like the Climax tournament. Stop it! I knew the second I said it, you were gonna be a smartass about it. Well, good to know you're back, Reb.
I am back. It's this is therapy for me. I had a really rough day. I thought I was gonna die the first half of the day.
Thank goodness for small favors.
If you ever have a gas bubble, thanks to the good people at Tums, by the way, for helping me get rid of that. And get off work sitting in a car in 100-degree heat because it won't start. The wife took care of that for me. She got that figured out while I was setting this stuff up. It was just a simple issue of a fob needing a battery.
Of course.
Yes. Actually, two fobs. Her wasn't working either. So it's a complete random coincidence that both fobs needed a battery at the same time. That's
crazy.
So that means at the end of this podcast, I get to go back to work and get my car.
Yay! As much fun as that sounds like.
I
live at my job, so I get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Minderz, let's move on. Let's talk some hoots and Judies here. Start with our hoot of the week, and I will let you go first because I know we really enjoyed his performance this weekend.
We really did, and he didn't win.
No.
He didn't win. But I'll tell you what, are you going to take it down, or are we going to have... Oh, you're waiting for me to say who it is.
I was going to, but that's fine.
Okay. So JCW.
Jersey Championship Wrestling.
Yes. The main event for Sunday night?
Sunday, yeah, night.
Sunday evening, Sunday night.
Born Almost on the 4th of July was the name of the show.
Yep, Born Almost on the 4th of July. But it was Matt Tremont and the one Mad Dog Conley. And damn it.
In a dog collar match, no less.
Yeah, in a dog collar match. I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy shit, Tremont's going to lose his title.
Sean, we will be talking Slammiversary next week.
Hold up. But yeah, Mad Dog was in there.
And he was...
for me to know what he was before, and I think this is a lot of why I gave him my hoot of the week, to think of the character he was before, pre-pandemic, and the character that he is now, night and freaking day.
Just the evolution from when Mad Dog first showed up as Mad Dog to how he is now.
Right.
And there was another match on the show who was Beastman against Bam Sullivan. And watching the match, I thought, I would love to see Beastman be Connolly's tag partner. I didn't realize they were already a tag team.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Well, and then I thought it was humorous when you were like, hey, Minderz, it's Minderz. And all of us were like, oh, yeah, this isn't the first time we've seen this one.
No.
Because that Minderz and Mad Dog combination is pretty freaking sweet.
Yes. Hey, Minderz, do you want to throw up AJ's comment? Because I actually had a picture because I was going to discuss this anyway. So I'm going to...
Okay. So AJ, his good hoots are the New Day. The gif of them saying the tag team division is dead while dressed for a funeral will get used for years to come. It's probably the next "it should have been me" gif.
Everybody that says the New Day's heel turn failed can suck a big one because
I like their heel turn.
me too.
I think it's brilliant, but
Especially Xavier Woods.
But then again, Reb, what do we know?
We know nothing.
We know nothing.
All right. My good hoot this week, I'm giving it to Mr. Braun Breaker after last night's performance.
This is the reason I asked you who your hoot was, and you never answered me.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I didn't see you ask me who hoot was.
Yeah, I asked you who your hoot was because I was afraid you were going to pick Mad Dog, honestly.
No, I went Braun because, number one, he actually got to cut a promo in the ring.
Right, and he took them. Okay, we'll get into that later because.
Yeah, but we'll get into. But he cut a promo, had a dominant win over Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Made an appearance at the end of the show. That group was all over the place on Monday.
They were. And it was really good. And I don't hate it.
No.
And I thought I was going to, and I don't. So.
All right. Well, let's move on to our good Judy's, Minderz. And
mine was a last second.
Yours surprised me.
Yeah. Well, I have reasons. I do have some thoughts.
Go on.
And I'm actually going to give it to Lyra Valkyrie, whatever.
Valkyria.
One, she laid them both out last night. She laid out Bayley. She laid out Becky. She laid them both out, which, fine. Second of all, she had the balls to walk directly past Bayley and not even acknowledge her while heading to the ring. And I still don't think she's going to win this weekend, but she's growing on me. Maybe she's finally starting to get that it factor with me.
She's improving every week.
She really is. Oh, and AJ, I'm going to put up his good Judy because it's the Kabuki Warriors.
Okay, yeah.
So I figured
Kabuki Warriors.
Yes, but yeah, I'll actually give it to Lyra this week. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it was crap! I forgot I haven't picked up Judy yet.
Yeah, you literally sent me your Judy like 10 minutes before we went on the air. Yeah,
pretty much.
Sorry. My Judy, I'm going to the Indies. I'm giving mine to Shotzi. Pretty strong match against Giselle Shaw at MLP. Kind of a wonky finish, but
no,
it's one of those things where I think the timekeeper knew too much.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Cardona got involved, because they got their feud going. They're having their match in GCW on the 12th. But
good Lord, how much wrestling is the 12th? More than I care to think about, honestly.
It's like Mania weekend all over again.
It is, because just in independent, like just stuff around here, I have my choice of 6 shows to go to this weekend. 6!
Mm-hmm. But no, Shotzi's doing some really good work on the Indies. I'm digging the thing with Cardona. Cardona broke her arm with her tank.
With her own tank.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think my microphone is rubbing against my beard. I'm going to move it up a little bit.
I was going to say, is that what that noise is?
That is. I'm a gruff, hairy, hirsute fella, Minderz, so.
Oh, shoot. But yeah, Shotzi, I think she was always going to do better on the Indies, honestly.
She's a natural indie talent. And
she really is.
That's not a knock in any way.
Well, I mean,
her and Elena Black both.
Yeah, I really think they are. I think they're both going to do better on the Indies just because they're used to having that. I don't even know how to explain it. I think they like that closeness with the fans, as opposed to what it was when you go WWE and you go to AEW or whatever.
Yeah,
but I think they enjoy the closeness with the fans.
I think so. All right, now let's get to our stooge, and this one.
We had some problems.
Well, I knew what I wanted my stooge to be, and that's what I wound up going with. It's not a wrestling stooge,
right?
Because as you know, I'm a proud Cubs fan, Minderz.
Yes.
And this is our stooge, Commissioner Rob Manfred from
Okay.
Major League Baseball, because his office is in charge of selecting the reserves for the All-Star game, which is going to be, I think, next week. And
it's already the All-Star
it's
game?
already the All-Star break next weekend. But my beloved Chicago Cubs have a player by the name of Seiya Suzuki, Minderz, who's... Now, if I told you that this guy had the most RBIs of anybody in the entire league and had a career high in home runs before it's even halfway through the season, you would think All-Star, right?
You would think. Apparently not, though.
The commissioner's office has snubbed Seiya Suzuki, to the ire and rage of Cubs fans all over the country and world. I'd say Japan. Seiya is a proud son of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just a horrible decision by a lackluster commissioner. They'd be better off with McFoley as commissioner at this point. Get him the gavel and the T-shirt, you know.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah, Abe Knuckleball Sports could be the commissioner and do a better job than Rob Manfred.
Wow.
Get Sting. He carries a bat around. But anyway, yeah, Rob Manfred is my stooge of the week this week. Oh, excuse me.
So that's your stooge. Would you quit, Belton?
I'm
I know
sorry.
you don't want another. You don't want another bubble. I get it.
Not fun. All right. So Minderz, we've got the usual business out of the way here. So we got to get to Pickin.
No.
But before we do,
Uh-huh.
You got to talk about LFG.
I do have to talk about LFG because I sat and watched it, and I still don't know how I completely feel about this. I really wish it would have been 16 new competitors. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, this week was actually really good for some of the ones from last year that did just need another set of time under their belt. We'll put it that way. This week we had, okay, first of all, the first thing I'm going to say, BJ has become tolerable.
Oh.
Yes, he finally shut the hell up. He's not on everyone. Kevin, he did that earlier. It's fine. He can. I'm not in the room with
I'll
him.
just say there's a reason I tried not to share elevators today.
Kehlani and Carmelo got engaged.
I did see that. Congratulations to them.
Okay, so back to LFG. Serena, which is, I can't even remember who's on whose team anymore. Hold on. Where's my other cheat sheet? I don't even know where my other cheat sheet's at. Serena, she's on Booker's team.
Okay.
She has been face for as long as she's been on the show, and Booker actually asked her to be heel. And she was a heel against Xena.
Oh.
And Serena's got a new attitude. Xena actually has a fun new power slam for a semi-finish.
Nice.
It was a really good. If you get a chance, you might go back and watch it because it was actually really good. So that was really good. Serena did win, but obviously, that doesn't count in this show. It all depends on your performance in the ring.
Right.
And then the second women's match we had was Tatiana, which is the one that I really don't care for. I think she whines too much. I think she needs to go back to like their starting point again and work on her fundamentals more.
Okay.
Because there's a lot that she does that
annoys you.
It feels rushed and the timing's off. If that makes sense.
It does.
But it was Tatiana versus P Nasty. But when they came out, it was really hard to decide who was heel and who was face. Because both of them came out.
AEW match.
Yeah, basically. Well, I mean, you knew P Nasty was a heel, but Tatiana was supposed to be face, but she came out kind of acting like a heel.
Mm-hmm.
P Nasty has switched her finisher. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to agree with Taker. Taker made a comment on, I saw it on a reel on Facebook. No, I don't have smell-o-vision. Taker made a comment. I think he was interviewing Braun Breaker.
Okay.
And he made the comment that they need to stop everybody else from using the spear and let it just be his.
Yep. Maybe Roman can have it.
Roman can have it, but again, that's in my opinion, Roman now has become an attraction and not a normal person that's on there all the time.
Roman's in that Goldberg territory now.
Why'd you have to put it in the Goldberg territory?
Because he's.
Why couldn't it be Brock? Put it in the Brock territory.
Brock doesn't do a spear.
I don't care.
And I don't know.
Anyway, P Nasty's now doing a spear as a finish.
Is it at least a good spear?
It's getting there. It's not great yet.
Is it better than Jey Uso's spear?
Yes. But is that really saying a whole lot?
Depends on who you ask.
Exactly. So women, the point this week went to Serena.
Okay.
So, like I said, she did a really good job. I did like her last year. She fought a lot with Bayley, because they came up together. Like they've been there for the same amount of time. So Bailey that was Humphrey. Actually
those one.
Yes,
not
Bailey
Bailey.
Humphries, not Bailey, but Kevin. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm not even touching it. Not even touching it. Next up, we had Chris Island versus Anthony Luke.
Okay.
Anthony Luke has become my BJ this year.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's obnoxious, he's annoying, and he's like it was all about changing something up for this week. They all were supposed to change something up. And Anthony Luke's big idea for changing thing was to put on football gloves. And that's all he did. Yeah. Chris Island, he used to have a vest that he wore with his singlet. He's not wearing the vest anymore.
Did he wear the vest during the matches?
No, because it was like a puffer vest.
Okay.
It wasn't like a. It's
not
like a
Marty
Stone Cold
McFly
vest.
life preserver vests from
Yes.
Back to the Future.
Yes. This match was just boring. But I do have a new favorite for the guys. Well, I'm kind of with two guys right now. And one of them had a match this week, but Elijah Holyfield versus Shiloh, the runner-up from last year.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, Elijah has now started doing a spear also, but it's more of a shoulder tackle, but it has a lot more strength, kind of like the spear, if that makes sense.
Well, he's a football player, so.
Right. So it makes sense for him to have like a shoulder tackle.
Right.
He is in probably the best shape he's ever been in. He looks a lot better than he did last year.
That's saying something because he was in pretty good shape last year.
Yeah, he's in like ridiculous shape this year. And to the point where Bubba, because Elijah's on Bubba's team now, to the point where Bubba said that Elijah's no longer going to be wearing a shirt. He will not let him wear a shirt. And even Sean goes, well, if I look like that, I wouldn't wear a shirt either. So, Elijah ended up winning the match. But both the guys, it was a really good match. Shiloh and Elijah, you can tell the ones that have grown a lot, like Serena, she was such a newbie when she started last season, that this season you can tell that she's learned so much, has put a lot of stuff together. And I wonder if she's not been hanging around with Xena more often and they haven't been studying tapes together. Because kind of some of the things they were coming up with were, you could tell it was a lot of like tape study.
Nice.
So our numbers. It has not taken Bubba 4 weeks to get a point. So we've got Booker T at 2 points.
Uh-huh.
We've got Bubba at 1 point. We've got Taker at 1 point. And Michelle's bringing up the back with 0 points. So.
All right.
Which to me kind of blows my mind. She got the first picks in the draft. The first guy and the first girl. And neither one of them have gotten her any points yet. Because one of them is Anthony Luke. And the other one's P Nasty.
Uh-huh.
But whatever. So there you go.
Yep. So before we get into picks, do you want to talk about Raw last night?
Yeah, let's talk about Raw last night.
I have a hot take.
All right.
I think I have figured it out, Minderz.
Oh, hold on. Before we get to that, because I know where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just talk about Braun Breaker last night, since that was the first thing that happened?
Sure.
Well, let's start with the first thing that happened, and then we can mix it all up. But
okay,
when Breaker took the mic from Paul away from Seth,
the faces.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, everybody's facing that. Even mine. I went. Oh boy.
There's a little seedling there, Minderz.
There is, but the more I started thinking about it, this is exactly what Roman didn't do in the Bloodline. He didn't give them a chance to say their own thing.
No.
It was only Roman talking.
Or Paul.
Mm-hmm. But it was only those two talking. They wouldn't let the other one speak. Which, granted, for that's what it needed to be.
Solo didn't need to be cutting promos.
No, hell no. But the fact that Seth is stepping back and letting the guys in his group cut their own promos, and, caught him off guard. But after it went for a while, he didn't seem to mind.
No.
Like, he kind of, okay. And I like the fact that Seth, they're showing them right now more as equals than as lackeys. Kind of like what the Usos were always the lackeys to Roman.
Yeah, Solo that's been a problem the last several weeks with that group. It's always been Seth and the Pips, as it were.
Right.
Sean, when does that's going to be a bit?
It's, I would say 2 to 3 years. If I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
I don't think it'll be that long, but it won't be short either.
Depends on how long they do this. Bloodline was 3 years.
Well, this isn't quite the Bloodline, though.
I kind of think it's better, but that's just me.
I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it, but it took a lot of time to really get the Bloodline to where it was when it was hot.
Right.
So
this is getting there. I think this will eventually get there. I really do.
At what point do the fans stop cheering for Seth? Singing along.
I don't think they will. I think it's too much fun.
Yeah.
I think he's going to become one of those. He's a heel, but he's not.
Yeah, he's been accused of chasing the Hug. I think he's trying to run from the Hug, but the Hug is chasing him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. But no, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought
when does Roman return?
I still think SummerSlam.
I'm thinking SummerSlam. Yeah. Kevin says give it a year. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Year and a half for Braun.
I don't think it'll be this WrestleMania. I think it might be the next WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that's just my thought.
Yeah,
that's why I said 2 years, 2-3 years.
What'd you think of Bronson's promo?
He needs some more mic work, in my opinion.
Yep. Did you like that he finally explained why he's with Seth after he tried to kill him?
That he finally beat the respect. He tsunami'd the respect into him.
Yes.
Got that. Yeah. I did enjoy. I enjoyed that one though. And what's Paul's now known as the Oracle?
The Oracle.
The Oracle.
Sean says I think Roman has I don't think he has a match.
I don't think he has a match.
I think he comes out after Seth's match.
Yep. And I think he's gonna attack Seth. But also with that, I do like how Paul is referencing some things from Brock's run.
Go deeper.
That's not a prediction, it's a spoiler.
Well, he's always been doing that. He was doing that with the Bloodline.
So it's just kind of like, okay. Well, I guess I always just associate that with Brock because that's where it started. That was where he kind of started doing all that. And then are they calling Seth's group the Empire?
They haven't officially said that, but it seems like that's where they're going.
Well, that was kind of what they were calling it last night.
Is it like the Empire Strikes First or something?
Yeah, the Empire Strikes First.
Which I don't hate it, but
no,
it kind of seems like that would have been Roman's group, the Roman Empire, you know.
Well, he became the original tribal or the OTC.
Yeah, but he had a shirt that said Roman Empire for a couple of years.
Forever. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
All right, so
on to your
hang on.
hot take.
Real quick, I have a Paul take real quick.
Oh, okay.
So, you know how he's always talking into his cell phone at ringside and all that? And LaGreca is complaining that
Oh God.
he's complaining that that's a Roman thing. That's what he was doing with Roman. I'll have you know, he was doing that in 1989
I was gonna say he's been doing
when
that
he had
forever.
his mom's cordless telephone from her kitchen. And he's always talked into a telephone.
He has.
That's
It's
not a
always
Roman
been
thing.
that.
That's a Dangerous Alliance thing.
Yeah.
That's the original Midnight Express thing.
Yeah.
So
Jeez,
I
Greca, come on.
debunk your theory, Dave LaGreca, and I poo-poo it.
He poo-poos it.
Oh, by the way, we talked about, we congratulated Kulani and Carmelo. Congratulations to Danhausen.
Yes, Baby Hausen is
Baby
here.
Hausen has arrived. Apparently,
and is already flipping the bird. Cute little kid.
Yes.
Okay. Are we going to talk about this next match? Do you want to talk about the matches, or do we want to just? Do you want to
let's hit the
jump
high
everywhere? Well, this isn't a high spot. This is probably the low spot of the night, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Kairi Sane and Roxy, and I hate saying that because I'm not a big fan of Kairi, but I really like Roxy. So, but it just seemed
that match was proof that it takes two people to have a good match.
It was. Yes. That's the nicest I can be about it.
Mm-hmm. You expect better from Roxy. Kairi's kind of a loose cannon a little bit.
Yeah. Although I did enjoy when Asuka came back out. Or when Asuka came out. So
yes.
We'll go with that. All right, where do you want to go next?
All right. So
your hot take?
Let's go with my hot take.
Okay, your hot take.
All right.
I'm really kind of surprised this wasn't your hoot, honestly, but
almost.
Okay.
So El Grande Americano had a match last night, which
did you happen to catch the backstage with Adam Pearce and American Made or whatever?
American Made,
Alpha. Yeah.
And Brutus almost stooged off the
and Ivy was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, Brutus, come on now.
I don't like Brutus's act. They're trying too hard to make him silly.
Yeah, they're trying to make him they're trying to make them into Otis and Akira, and I don't like it. Akira Tozawa. Yeah. Well, wow, that doesn't surprise me one bit.
What?
We got another match for Great American Bash.
Oh, well, hang on. Don't say it till we get to... But...
I don't want to forget it.
Well, you're interrupting my take.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Take.
All right, so anyway, Grande Americano comes out. He looked a little different.
A little bit. Still in shape, though.
Yeah, look at that. He's a little taller. Looks like he's leaned out a little bit.
It's amazing what a couple weeks can do.
And now people seem to think that it's a different El Grande Americano than the original.
Oh, Sean does. He says it's Kaiser.
I have seen no proof that it's Kaiser. In fact, I think it's somebody else.
You do think it's somebody else?
I've studied.
You told me this take. So.
I've studied this image very closely.
Okay.
And I think that the current El Grande Americano is Jack Vaughn.
Okay. Can I kind of debunk this? Well, I guess the mask does come down far enough that it would cover his mustache.
Exactly.
That was the only thing I was a little concerned
about. Now, I know
about.
Jack has a tattoo on his left pec, but as we've proven, the tattoo can be covered up.
Yes, it can be. Kevin, it's not Chad anymore.
It was never Chad to begin with. It was El Grande Americano.
It was Chad. And it's Kaiser.
Allegedly.
And it's Kaiser. Although I do like your hot take on Jack Vaughn. I think that's pretty good.
I aim to prove that it is indeed Jack Vaughn under the mask as El Grande Americano.
But you do have his contact information. You could always get a hold of him.
If we get Jack back on the podcast, I'm going to ask him bluntly, are you El Grande Americano?
No. If they haven't said yet.
Right. What?
He had a German accent.
My wife is pointing out that he had a German accent. That could be a misdirect. You don't think Jack Vaughn could pull off a German accent?
Oh, I think Jack could very easily.
But he's also not that tan.
Spray tan, my dear. Spray tan. I will prove this to be fact that Jack Vaughn is indeed El Grande Americano.
All right. It's not, but okay. Anyway. In fact, I think Jack was home last night.
A likely story.
All right, since he was your hoot. So what about Breaker's match with Sammy last night?
Before we talk about the match, what about Cross?
Right?
If he's not careful, he's going to be the biggest babyface in the company.
He is. Well, did you hear the crowd after the show?
Yeah, I sent you the video.
Oh, was it you that sent me the video?
Yeah.
I thought it was in the group chat. But yeah,
Well,
I was like,
He
holy crap.
laid out Sami Zayn, and the fans were chanting his name.
Yeah.
Anybody else takes out Sami Zayn, they're the biggest heel in the company.
Mm-hmm. Cross does it, and
then he cut the promo
He's our
later on
hero.
too.
yeah, he's our hero. Although
I think
I
very
am
well.
excited. I am excited that we're starting to get Bloodsport Cross. So
A little bit.
I'm
Except
okay
for the
with
pipe.
it. Except
Maybe
for the
I'm
pipe.
nuts. I think that pipe should have made a sound when it hit the floor.
Now here's going to be my argument to that. I've got a good argument to that because Adam threw it back,
Uh-huh.
and I think he threw it away from the microphones so you couldn't hear it.
There you go. Okay.
Okay.
That was about the size of Riho's pipe from AEW. But
Stop
Cross
it.
can hold it.
Right, exactly. It makes sense for it to be Cross.
Right.
Cross can hold it with one hand, not two.
Yes. But the match, I told you I was waiting for when they were helping Sammy to the back. I was waiting for Braun to just come out and spear him on the floor.
One more time, right?
No, before the match even started.
Oh,
Like when they're trying to convince Sammy to go to the back and not have them. This is during the commercial break, so I don't know if you saw it or not.
I didn't see it.
So during the break, they're tending to him, and each trainer has one arm, and they're trying to help him to the back. And I was just waiting for Braun to just come out of the entrance and just spear the crap out of Sammy, but it didn't happen. They had to make Sammy the plucky underdog and go back in the ring and
What a
insist on
mistake
having the match.
that was.
And also, by the way, Michael Cole almost got Stooge of the Week because he was so annoying in that match.
He was obnoxious last
I'm
week.
sorry. He is as an announcer, I can say this. You're not supposed to yell advice and try to tip off wrestlers that things are going to happen.
You're not?
No,
Oh.
not the play-by-play guy anyway.
Oh, okay.
Color guy,
I can.
maybe.
I can. I'm the
You
color
can.
guy,
Yeah, but like I wouldn't.
right?
Even if
You're supposed
Jackson
to call
Morgan's
it as
coming
you
after the
see it.
Cobra with a hatchet, I can't say, Cobra, turn around.
True. I get that, I guess. But yeah, you could have given Stooge to Michael Cole.
I could give Stooge to Michael Cole every week because he is really annoying. There's too much McAfee rubbing off on Michael Cole.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Yeah, and that also sounds horrible when you say it out loud.
Yeah, sure does.
All right.
This is about the time New Day had their little background or their backstage segment, which was great. So
And I
fun.
enjoyed how Becky came and gave condolences.
She did.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Yes.
That was sweet of her. And then we had the Bailey, Lyra, and Becky thing, which we talked about earlier.
Mhm.
So we don't really need to talk about that.
Yeah. We had Gunther come out, cut a promo.
Yes.
Had Goldberg come out and punch him in the
Goldberg
face.
showed up.
And that's all we needed from that segment. Was
Yes,
Goldberg come
please.
out, no music. Well, he had music, but no dancing through the smoke and
Yeah,
sticking
no,
his
he
tongue
just
out.
walked directly to the ring.
As soon as Gunther tried to talk, he smacked the mic out of his hand and punched him in the face.
And then kept telling him 5 days.
5 days.
5
He
days.
can't count to 5. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that's
Jay and
all that's
Bronson.
all I needed to see from Goldberg.
Kevin, we're gonna fight on this.
And I'm not even going to say a thing about misspelling
The
Goldberg.
spelling.
It is an E, sir, not a U.
It's okay. He can leave it that way. It makes it funnier.
All right.
Jay versus Bronson. Big Bronson Reed.
I love me some Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I just wish it wouldn't have been a DQ.
No, it's perfect. He didn't care about the win.
Well, that's true.
He was just out to hurt people.
He just wanted to kill him. I forgot.
And in fact, he threw the office chair at him.
Right? He was like,
Funny
screw
story.
those metal chairs. I'm going to throw an office chair at him.
I was talking to a friend of mine. I'm actually getting a chair from him to give to Bari. They get a desk chair. And he asked me if I was taking it to use for a wrestling angle. I was like, no, most people don't use those, but sometimes they do throw them. Then 24 hours later, Bronson Reed throws a desk chair at Uso's bug.
It's all right, Kevin. We just like giving you a hard time. He said, "Spell check. I'm working.
When we bust chops, that means we care."
Mm-hmm. And then I think the only thing we've got left is Penta and Seth.
Mm-hmm. What did we think of that match? I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I
expected
honestly,
a little better.
I would have preferred Sammy and Breaker to have been final match.
Maybe.
After I saw the matches.
I just didn't care for Seth kicking out of the Penta driver.
I didn't either. There's a lot of things.
I feel about finishes.
I know.
I do like that Seth didn't kick out of the destroyer. He put his hand on the ropes.
Right. Well, his finger.
It was hand.
Oh, I thought it was his finger. No, that was Monday's match. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch that one.
I wish I would. But yeah. But I wasn't a big fan of the finish. I did like the LA Knight came out and attacked, and I think though the crowd was kind of let down that it wasn't Punk.
Well, it had to be Knight because they got the match on Saturday.
Right, they got the match Saturday. But
I think LA's starting to get his steam back.
He is, and I like it.
Yeah, because there was a little period where he was starting to kind of lose a little bit of momentum.
But all right, well that was Raw.
All right.
Yes, I just threw my notes across the room. I've got this nice little pile going of little yellow notes of where I take notes when I watch wrestling. But I think we're probably going to move on to start making our picks.
All right. Yes, pick time.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the option, Minderz, of where we start.
Well, how about we do this?
All In's technically the first show, right?
No. Technically, Bash would be the first show because it's on during the day.
Okay, well, let's start with that.
And actually, if you want to get really technical, isn't the ROH one Friday night?
Oh, yeah, I don't have the...
you don't have the card for that? Okay, so we won't pick that one.
But the Great American Bash, I had 3 matches. You said they announced another one.
Yes.
So why don't you say what that is first?
Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. Shocker, right? I hope this is the blow off for this one. I hope this is the blow off. But I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. I know they're good in the ring together, but I'm just getting to the point where
they can't do it every week.
They can't. It's getting old.
Yeah. I got a feeling this might not only be the blow off, this might be one of them going up to the main roster.
Then I hope it's Ethan.
I think it's going to be Ethan because I've heard rumblings that he might join up with Seth.
Okay.
Him and Paul I think that'd be gold.
We'll see what happens. But how many people are we going to get in this empire?
A good faction is at least 5 people.
At least 5. Okay.
5 is the perfect number. 6 if you want to add a woman.
6 if you want to add a woman. Okay.
Which would be Becky, probably.
Right. So we can take on 2 more.
2 more guys.
2 more guys. And Becky.
Right.
Okay.
And you could even just...
And it's falls count anywhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Pick me a winner, Minderz.
Who has the belt right now?
Ethan.
Saints still have it? Oh, Ethan has it.
Ethan beat Saints for it.
Again?
I mean, again, I thought he I didn't think he lost it back to him.
Oh. Well, I'm going to
Sean?
go with Sean. Who has that belt right now? I haven't watched it in a while, dang it.
Usually we're doing this when it's on.
Yeah.
That's our excuse.
Which makes it bad because usually the show before is the one I can always. Okay, Ethan has the belt. Then I say Starks wins, so Ethan can go up.
Okay.
Where's our screaming goats when I need them?
I am going to say. I'm going to agree. I'll say Saints.
I mean, if we were just talking about him going up, so why not let Saints carry the belt then?
I agree.
So.
All right.
What's our next one? So now
right.
that's a total of 4 then, right? You
4
said
match.
you had 3? Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we have Saul Ruka against Izzy Dame for the Women's North American Championship.
Crap, she's going to be busy.
Yeah, busy weekend. Yeah.
I think Soul's going to keep it. I don't think it's time for her to drop it yet.
I agree. I think they're supposed to announce all the women in the Evolution Battle Royal from NXT tonight too.
Yes, from NXT.
From NXT.
Yes. Because so far for Raw, the only ones I caught last night was Ivy and Stephanie.
Ivy, Stephanie, Natty, Maxine, and Nikki Bella.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Bella. And I forgot about Natty and Maxine too. But.
Yeah, because that was during the commercial break during their promo.
Gotcha.
All right, tag team: JC Jane and Fallon Henley against Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe. It's got to be Jordan and Monroe, right? It's her first match.
Should be.
Yeah, but what if? And I hate being this person. But what if we get the swerve and Monroe joins up with Fatal Influence?
I wondered. I could see it happening.
She could be their Mandy Rose.
She could. But then what happens to Fallon?
Babyface?
We've been wanting it.
I mean, they could just make it a 4-lady group.
They could.
Sean says Soul and Zarya should not be the team in the Fatal 4-Way.
I might argue that.
I might argue that also. But we'll get to that when we talk about Evolution.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
All right. Let's see. Well, the main event, Obafemi defending against Inamura.
That's the guy that partner. I was going to say that was Briggs's partner.
Yeah, so this should be interesting. Got a big, strong style Japanese guy against the Rula.
Yeah.
I know who you're picking.
Yeah, you know who I'm picking. It's not even really worth asking me who I'm picking because you know who I'm picking.
No, I think it's going to be Oba.
It has to be Oba. I mean, the only few times that I actually felt concerned that Oba was going to lose it was when it was Trick.
Matches?
Huh?
Multi-man matches?
Yeah. Well, no. Oba's always going to win a multi-man match. Sorry.
There's law. Sorry.
There's a law.
Yeah.
Which is going to make it real fun when we get to Evolution because there's a lot of multi-man matches.
Multi-woman matches.
Sean, that's what I meant.
Who beats Oba? Sean wants to know. That's a good question.
It depends on when they want to bring Oba up and whoever he's feuding with at that point in time.
I'm trying to think who's left.
There's really not anyone. Unless
King?
Trick. Huh?
Lexus King, maybe?
No.
I actually back on Trick.
Well, don't hate me for this. Because you're probably going to. AJ Francis.
Ugh.
I told you you're going to hate me because I hate me for even thinking it.
Just get that negative energy out of your head, Minderz.
Right? I know. But listen to my logic. Okay?
I'll bet I know where you're going with this. Does it have anything to do with Trick Williams?
Yes, it does. Trick has the TNA belt.
Yes, he does.
If AJ takes the belt off of NXT, then you have a guy from TNA that has the belt from NXT.
Please don't say they're going to just trade him.
They probably will.
Oh, no.
They probably will. Although now you would have, if it would be, I know this all sucks and I hate my logic thinking in this, but if you have AJ Francis having the belt, that's your heel, so you can have all the baby faces chase him. So then Joe Hendrick could go in there and win the belt. Or
Santana.
I kind of think Santana and Oba needs another run, but another go, but
Mhm.
but I just think it's gonna put the universe back in sync. Order, yeah. For lack of a better term. Now I knew you were gonna hate me for even suggesting it.
I don't hate you, but I am disappointed.
Because you know it's a possibility. You know what would be kind of fun though? What if it's Jasper Troy?
Interesting.
Jasper's a big boy,
He is.
but he's not ready yet.
No, not quite.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that. But you got to think it's got to be somebody that's big enough to take out Oba.
Mm-hmm.
And even though AJ sucks, there you would have your face versus your heel, and then First Class or whatever the hell they're calling themselves
Mm-hmm.
could have their little thing and be like, "Oh, we're draped in gold," and then KC Navarro could win like the X Division or North American, and they'd all have gold. There you go. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
I feel like that's too easy, though. So we'll have to see what happens. But
I'm just throwing ideas out there.
As they say, run it up the flagpole and see who salutes.
Exactly. Salute your shorts. Sorry, I was watching a Nickelodeon. I saw a Nickelodeon documentary. Salute your shorts. Oh, I loved that show growing up.
Uh-huh.
I just dated myself. Holy crap.
You kind of did.
I did.
All right. Well, let's move on.
Let's do that.
All right. So let's talk All In.
Okay, so All In, then okay, so you're going to give me the nasty taste of All In and then follow it up with Saturday Night Main Event, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
All 3 matches that I know of so far.
Yeah, that's all I got to is 3 matches.
All right.
Whoops.
So let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8 matches, which I feel like there's going to be more after.
I'm
after
sure
tomorrow.
there'll be more. They got to have a pre-show.
Oh yeah. All right. I don't think we need to discuss who's going to win the Casino Gauntlet for the men and the women because I don't know who all's in it.
Well, we know who's in the men's.
We know. Well, yeah.
We know the first 2.
Right.
Briscoe and MJF.
Right. We don't know who's in the women's one yet.
Were they deciding that tonight?
Tomorrow. They don't have a show tonight.
Yeah. It's Tuesday. Sorry, my days are all messed up.
It's Tuesday. You know what that means.
No, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. So I got to wait till after midnight.
Yeah. All right. TNT Championship. Adam Cole defending against Kyle Fletcher.
Who do I want to win or who do I think is going to win?
Well, I think I know who you want to win.
Probably.
And I think I know who you think is going to win.
Probably.
Maybe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I think we're on the same page.
Honestly, Fletcher is the better athlete, in my opinion.
Fletcher's a
but he is. He's so good. He's really good.
Although Cole's starting to put a little bit of size back on.
Thank God.
He was looking emaciated for a good long while there.
Yeah, he was looking smaller than Darby. That's not good.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I think Cole's gonna win. I would love for Fletcher. I won't be upset though if Fletcher does.
Right.
And I haven't watched the show in so long. I've watched bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But if I actually call the winners on this, I'm gonna be shocked.
Are you making notes of who you're picking?
Oh, I probably should do that, huh? I gotta find a pen. Okay, I think I found one.
It's also
Nope,
the motto
that's my
of Iron
spoon.
Make Sharp. I need to
Crap.
find a pen.
Found my spoon.
Hey, there you go. You gotta put a little pin on the tip of it so you can use that as a writing utensil.
No. I am not a gas station.
What?
I'm not a gas station.
Today I was.
You were. Let's see, does this right? And I just lost my other notes, but oh wait, I don't know what that is. That's not a pen though.
That's a toothbrush.
No, it wasn't a toothbrush. All right. When all else fails, you go to the phone.
Yep.
Okay, so AEW.
Uh-huh.
AEW. Fletch versus Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Cole gets the ampersand. Okay.
All right, so you're picking Cole.
Mhm.
To be different, I will say I'm going to pick Fletcher.
Okay, I'm going to give it a plus sign if you're picking.
Okay.
So we know who did what.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Next match.
Tag Team Championship, 3-way. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus Speedball and Kevin Knight versus Christian Cage and Nick Wade.
So Patriarchy.
Jet Speed, I think is the name of Bailey and Knight's team.
Shit Speed?
Jet Speed.
Oh, Jet Speed.
Opening the door wide open for a Ben Trust cooperation when he's.
Oh, shut up.
Make him the third guy. They can be
Still mad at you. I am still mad at you.
You had a week. You haven't got over that yet?
I'm still mad at you.
I thought it went great.
Versus Hurt. Okay.
I think we can agree. Person.
Minderz Law.
Yep. It was man law.
Minderz Law. Okay, next.
All right. So we have our unified title match, Minderz, and I saw something earlier that AJ actually sent to the group after I'd seen it already. But this is from the AEW All In Media Call.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at that. What was that about?
Okay. Tony Khan gives clarification on the Omega Okada winner-take-all match. International and Continental titles are not retiring.
Wait, so one person's going to hold two belts?
No, they're going to hold three because they have a belt.
Oh my God. Okay.
The lineage of those titles would be intact after All In. Winner could even carry all three belts, including the Unified Championship. And the Continental Classic will be back in November.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
So he's created a second Triple Crown without the Ring of Honor and New Japan championships.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got all those belts in his house. You might as well find a use for him.
All right, who's your pick?
Ugh.
Making you go first.
If I have to pick, I'm out of these two, I want to see Omega win.
Okay, that's not.
I have never been a fan of Okada.
Okay. Because I'm picking Omega too. Although, I mean, Okada's had that belt now for how long? Too damn long.
2 years, isn't it?
It's been that long. It's been
Maybe
too
not
damn
that
long.
Maybe it just feels that way.
Probably. Because there's a part of me that thinks Bucks might have something to do with it. But
well, speaking of,
okay.
tag team match: Young Bucks versus Swerve and Will Ospreay.
That's this weekend?
What?
That's this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's got to be Swerve and Ospreay.
Has to be.
Preferably Ospreay getting the pin.
Hopefully. Okay, so
'Cause we
you're
like that
going.
Osprey.
We do. Okay, so we're both picking Osprey and Swerve. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Next up, Women's Championship. Tony Storm defending against Mercedes Monet.
Who do I want to win, or who's going to win?
I already know the answer to this, but yeah, I
Who are you going with? Who are you going with? Just
I think they're pulling the trigger on Monet in this match. As much
you
as
know
I hate
what?
it.
To be different, so we don't agree on everything. God, I'm glad you picked Monet because I really didn't want to.
Yeah, you would mind to throw it.
I was ready to smack you upside your head if you took Storm because I'm gonna go with Storm on this one.
Yeah, I think you would have thrown up in your mouth a little if you had to pick Monet.
I would. Yeah,
Mhm.
I would. All right.
All right.
What we got next?
Main event, Texas Death Match, AEW World
Wait.
Title, Moxley versus Page.
I thought you said there was 8 matches.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the 2 Casino Gauntlets.
Ew. Okay. Okay, never mind. All right. Okay, so Mox versus Page. All right, this one's actually up in the air a little bit for me.
It kind of is.
Thank you for your help today.
I think. All right, you go. You want me to pick first?
I'll pick first.
Okay.
Just to.
That will help.
I think I'm gonna go Moxley.
Okay.
With the caveat that after the match we get Darby Allin coming back to set up the next thing.
And I'll just go for Page because I can't in right mind.
I will not be surprised one bit if Hangman wins this.
I won't either.
They've really been kind of strapping the rocket to him on TV the last few weeks.
They have. I mean, although. So is Darby going to be back? Is he back?
They haven't announced him or anything, but it could be a surprise. Tony likes the surprises it all in.
I know.
Dozens of people were waiting to see what happens on that.
Dozens and dozens.
All right. So that match that show's actually starting early on Saturday. They moved the time up because of all the other stuff going on. And I think it starts at noon, maybe?
Noon. So they're going to run against Great American Bash.
I think it's a lesser of two evils thing.
They'd rather run against Great American Bash as opposed to Saturday night main event. That's
rather that than Goldberg.
But okay, here's my thought though. They were pretty dumb anyway. For the simple fact, and in my opinion, WWE was brilliant.
Go on.
They're on network television.
Yeah. All in 2025, 1 p.m.
So it starts at 2 our time.
No. I think it's 1 p.m. Central Time because it is in Texas.
Oh. Well, Sean just said, does Britt Baker come back to AEW? And it starts at 2.
I think it starts at 2 Eastern Time. But
that would make sense.
I mean, they haven't ever said she's done.
But what is she going to do?
Monet. They still have heat.
Why?
That's the only person that she can work with, I guess. And by she, I mean Monet.
Doesn't work for me, sister.
That or Battle Royal. Maybe she'll be in the gauntlet.
Okay. See, that's where I think we'll get some of our more surprises.
Maybe Guinness will be in the men's gauntlet.
He might. He was in the last one.
Probably Ricochet, I would imagine, he'll be in there.
Ugh.
Where's the legless guy from the first All In?
I can't even remember his name.
Dustin something.
Is Zach Gowen going to be in it?
They booked him before.
Sean, we don't know, and God, we wish it was sooner than later.
Well, technically she did start because she lost that New Japan title a few weeks ago. But then she won
That's
2
true.
more.
Then she won 2 more, so
All right.
there's that.
Yeah. Hey, Minderz, what do you say we pay some bills and then we'll get into Evolution and main event?
Let's do that so I can find a pen that works.
All right. All right, we're back. Did you find one?
I did.
We got.
I found one. See?
Nice.
See?
Very nice. Very nice. All right. So let's talk all
Are 3 matches?
Or is it? No, 3. Yeah. Jade Naomi's on Evolution, not main event.
Right. Yes. They're
All
on
right.
Evolution.
All right. So just made on SmackDown this past week, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, which I'm low key kind of excited for because I like both those guys.
I don't want to pick.
It's a pick 'em.
I don't want to pick. Well, okay. Let's just think about this. McIntyre needs the win. He's coming back.
Mm-hmm. Orton kind of needs a win too, though.
Orton needs the win to stay relevant.
Any chance of a fuck finish? And
Is this where we're gonna get? Is this where we're gonna get our Punk kick?
I don't think in a first match. I think they'd build to that. I'm gonna pick Drew.
I'll go with Randy.
I think that this is going to be Drew's going to do something crooked, and it's just going to push Orton closer and closer to the heel
The
stuff.
brink.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. This could low key be the match of the night. LA Knight and Seth Rollins.
I agree, but Seth's winning.
It's Seth, yeah, probably with fuckery.
Yes, probably with help from Braun and Bronson.
Mm-hmm. And if the last main event's anything, maybe another member.
That's true. Ethan Pagewood.
Maybe. Omos.
CM Punk.
That's not Punk. Stacy threw out maybe Omos joins Seth, but
There's
no, I
one
thought
that could.
Omos should be the next El Grande Americano. Tell me that wouldn't be great.
That ain't gonna work.
Tell me that wouldn't be great.
No. No, Rob.
putting it out
No.
there.
No. Not working.
Whoever, if Jack Vaughn gets hurt, then it has to forfeit the mask,
Uh-huh.
extend it, stretch it out, make it a little bit bigger, put it on that big bastard, and let him do it. And then see Michael Cole try to make sense of that.
Michael Cole's not the one. Poor Corey Graves.
He may have a mental breakdown if it's Omos. Especially if Corey Graves keeps trying to play it off like it's not any different.
Right.
Triple
Damn
H,
it,
I know you watch this. Omos, El Grande Americano. El Grande Nigerio or something.
Grande Nigeria. You're terrible. You are terrible.
I'm sorry. All right. Well, we got to talk main event Minderz World Heavyweight Championship.
Why?
Gunther versus Goldberg. Goldberg's last match.
There's only one way I am okay with Goldberg winning.
Is that if somebody burns it down and cashes in a briefcase?
There you go. That is the only way I'm okay with Goldberg.
That's how I see it happening. I think Goldberg beats Gunther. You get the big pop, everybody throwing babies in the air in Atlanta, and then all of a sudden Reed and Breaker come out, tune up Goldberg, and then Rollins comes out, cashes in.
Seth comes out, cashes in.
Then he wins, and then we get Punk.
Curb stomp.
Mm-hmm.
Punk.
Yeah. Well, no, curb stomp 1, 2, 3, then Punk.
Well, yes. Make sure we have that 1, 2, 3 in there, please. All right. So I'm gonna pick Gunther. I'm gonna pick Gunther.
I do love my Gunther, but
Are you going with Goldberg then?
I'm saying Goldberg because I want Rollins to cash in.
Okay. All right. Now so we're moving on now, right?
We are moving on. We got to talk.
That's all we have for Saturday Night Main Event.
That's all we have.
Let me just double check and make sure.
Please do.
But while we do that,
Mm-hmm.
we can go ahead and at least start with Evolution. And if you want to, we can start with tag team titles. So that way we can argue why we think Sean's wrong that Soul and Zarya are the exact team that should be going for it.
Okay. All right. So the tag titles: Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez defending against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I almost said Alexa Flair and Charlotte Bliss. The Kabuki Warriors and Sol Ruka and Zarya. I'm guessing this is one fall.
No, I'm assuming.
It should be elimination if you ask me, but there's a lot of matches on this show though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches on this show, which is long for a WWE pay-per-view.
Well, you know what's kind of nice? I just saw here.
What?
Talking about WrestleMania or Saturday Night Main Event.
Uh-huh.
WrestleTix reports today, as of today, 10,731 tickets were distributed so far.
Okay.
And the arena is set up for 12,000.
Not bad. Where are they running?
They're doing pretty good. Huh?
Where are they running at?
State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia.
State Farm Arena. Okay. I wasn't sure which building they were in.
And they're only saying three matches.
A lot of promos.
So unless they'll probably do a lot to push Evolution the next night.
Probably. There might be some sort of a tag match from
and you have SmackDown. You have SmackDown coming up too, so they have a chance to add one more match.
Yeah.
That might need to happen.
They might add a match from NXT because there's going to be NXT talent in Atlanta.
Well, yeah, but
there's already one because you got. Well, no, main event. Never mind. We'll get to that. All right.
Barry says, hold on. Barry had a comment.
Uh-huh.
Barry said, Gunther wins. Goldberg gets after match fuckery. And then he said, sorry, he's late.
Oh, no, you're good. I just want this to be it for Goldberg. This is supposed to be his last match. I don't want him to say, on second thought, I'll be back and I'm coming after everyone.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. All right. So, Minderz, why are Sol Ruka and Zarya the right choice for NXT?
Because that's the tag team that works the best together. And they're the two that are probably the most ready to move up to the main roster.
Are there any other NXT tag teams that could potentially get this match?
I don't think so.
Unless you're talking JC and.
Well, yeah, but then you're taking.
JC's got her match with Jordan already.
Right.
And I don't think what's her name? Nyx?
Yeah.
Something. I don't think she's ready for pay-per-view.
Zarya, I still think that Zarya and Sol are the right pick for this. Again, I think
I agree.
These two are the ones that are ready. They're ready.
Mm-hmm.
And they can move up, and they're still probably mid-card, honestly, but sure. They're a strong mid-card.
Can I also point out this means we're going to probably get a face-off between Zarya and Raquel. Lady Haas.
Lady Haas fight.
And then we'll get our Flair Asuka interaction again, which is always good.
That's always fun.
Probably get some sort of can they coexist dynamic between Charlotte and Alexa. If I had to guess. Probably get the same thing from Raquel and Roxy, to be honest with you.
Yeah. They just lost to Izzy and Tatum.
Oh, Tatum. I forgot Tatum and Izzy are a tag team now. In the Cullen?
No spoilers, Sean. Sorry, guys.
Yep. Boo. Sean, shame. Slap on the wrist. Got one past me. I'm not happy about that. No more spoilers.
Hold on. Oh, I like this idea.
Somebody teasing you with a good
So-
time, Minderz?
They are. They really, really, really are. So Nick Aldis to cost a WWE star at Saturday night's main event and set up a SummerSlam match. Looking at the possibility.
I think I know who that might be.
You think?
Somebody who
Maybe
maybe
some-
did an RKO on him a couple times.
Maybe. So it says WWE Saturday night main event is right around.
That was last week, Minderz.
Oh.
All right. Shame withdrawn. You're good.
Sorry. WWE Saturday Night Main Event is right around the corner, and the fans have been quite excited about what might unfold at the show. The company has confirmed some massive matches for the night, including surprises and twists that may introduce new storylines for SummerSlam 2025. One of the major matches confirmed for the weekend is Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. The Scottish Warrior returned last week on the Blue brand after being absent for a few weeks, just to be on the receiving end of an RKO, which led to Nick Aldis confirming the singles match between the two. While the match is official, Nick Aldis could add a massive twist to the storyline that might add a lot of excitement among fans ahead of SummerSlam. Could we get Nick Aldis and Orton?
Please.
The general manager of SmackDown could interfere during the match at Saturday night's main event just to cost Orton the battle, which could lead to McIntyre picking up a victory against the Viper.
I'd be okay with it.
This could further lead to the storyline between Orton and Aldis finally seeing developments which could lead to a match between the two at the biggest party of the summer. Aldis has been expected to return to the Squared Circle for a long time now, specifically after taking a couple of RKOs over the past few months on the Blue brand.
Mm-hmm.
The interference at Saturday night's main event could be revenge for RKO's Orton has delivered, followed by Aldis finally getting his hands on the former world champion at SummerSlam with some massive developments expected in the story. Fans will have to wait and see what WWE has in store for both men next. This was off of Sportskeeda.
Okay.
Sportskeeda or whatever.
Sportskeeda, yeah. Wouldn't hate it.
I just happened to say, I was like, oh, that could be fun. That could be a lot of fun.
It could be a lot of fun.
All right.
All right.
But I am for the tag team match, though. Minderz Law.
Yeah. There's a little too much mustard on the ball for Judgment Day at the moment.
Yes. With their 5 titles. Both
5
tag
belts.
teams.
5
5 belts. Yeah, 5 belts. 2
3
tag
titles,
teams.
5 belts.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have.
Who are you picking? Are you doing the same? Or are you calling Minderz Law?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. No holds barred. Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
I'm interested to see who you say in this.
I'm going to say Jade.
You know,
She's
we're
got a
sharing
title
the
shot at
brain
SummerSlam.
tonight. We're sharing the brain tonight.
Mm-hmm. Just wait till we get to SummerSlam predictions.
Oh God, we're gonna have so many. It's gonna be so much of
Brain sharing.
Yeah, brain sharing. If you're gonna go Jade, I'll go Naomi just to be different.
I have really been enjoying Naomi's work, though.
Well, because Jade needs her comeuppance
She needs
against
to get the payoff.
Naomi. She needs her
Naomi's
payoff.
got the briefcase, so she can.
But
she can
Naomi's
take
got
a
the
loss.
briefcase, and it's a no holds barred. So I have a feeling the briefcase is going to end up being smashed against Jade's head. Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but
Maybe a
that's
tad,
kind
but that's all right. That's all right. All right. NXT Championship: JC Jane versus Jordan Grace.
You're really asking me this.
I have to.
Jordan Grace.
I'm going
And
to.
it's nothing against JC. It's nothing against JC. But I think it's time for Jordan.
I'm going to say Jordan with a caveat that as soon as she wins, then Blake Monroe jumps her.
Probably. I'll go with that. Jade is winning at Summer.
We're not at SummerSlam yet.
We still got a couple more weeks before SummerSlam. Thank God.
Yes.
They got to develop these stories a little bit more for me to figure out everybody.
I have to get my whiteboard all put together.
Yeah,
for
we got to get the
SummerSlam.
whiteboard set up.
All right. Let's see. Battle Royal.
You said you were going Jordan too, right?
I'm going Jordan with the Blake Monroe sneak attack afterwards.
Okay.
Battle Royal. We don't know everybody in it. I'm just going to throw one out there. Nia Jax. because she's big.
Okay.
Sean also making a point. The winner of the NXT title match faces Masha at Slammiversary. Title for title. So then maybe we'll get Jordan and Masha.
We get Jordan versus Masha again. Oh, how
Masha,
good was that?
Or Jordan could get her win back.
Jordan could get her win back.
Or Masha could get a third belt. She's already JCW champion and the Knockouts champion.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, yeah, you know what? He's probably right. He's picking Stephanie for the Battle Royal.
Sean and I are sharing a brain now.
Yeah.
Because that's who I was going with. I was going to go with Stephanie.
If it's somebody from Raw, it's going to be Stephanie. If it's somebody from SmackDown, I'm saying Nia.
Okay.
As much as I would like to see President Chelsea Green get the win. But
hold on a second.
Is the little gerbil on the wheel, Minderz?
Yes.
Where's my music?
No, you're okay. You don't need music. I'm just counting something here.
Oh.
1, 2. That works. Crap. That doesn't work. I was trying to see which ones had more matches, but all of them have 2.
What?
So
the weekend? Like who's got?
Because like Becky, Lyra, Haley, that's Raw. Io, that's Raw. Tiffany and Trish, Jade and Naomi, JC Jordan, and that's the one that it's not more than one. NXT would only get 1.
Right.
So see who had. I'm gonna go with Nia, but I think it's gonna come down to Nia and Stephanie.
Okay. Sean wants to know if JC wins, does she lose to Masha? I would like to think yes, but I don't know if that's the case.
If JC wins,
if JC beats Jordan and goes on the Slammiversary,
no, she's losing to Masha. If JC wins, I don't see JC winning, but if JC wins, she's losing to Masha. I'm sorry, Masha's a beast. Look at what she did to KJ a couple weeks ago on GCW.
Yeah.
Look at what she's done to Mickey Knuckles.
That was a crazy.
I mean, how you can't look at JC and tell me that that's a possibility. I'm sorry.
No.
Look at what she did to Anakin. Oh wait, never mind. That was Mickey.
Yes, that was.
Never mind. That was Mickey.
We'll talk about Anakin tomorrow too, because we got some news. But
there's lots going on.
Yep. All right. Women's
we got
World.
Lots of indie shows to go.
We do. Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley challenging Io Sky.
Sean, I don't know. Who's going to dethrone Masha?
What's dethrone?
It's dethrone. I know what he meant.
Yeah, I'm not prepared to make a prediction for that.
No. Especially since I don't know who the next knockouts competitor would be. Although, you know what I'd really like to see again, because I've seen it once.
What?
Maggie Lee and Masha.
Ooh. Well, Masha's had a bit of a run with Killer Kelly the last few weeks.
Okay, well that makes sense too, but I'm just saying Masha and Maggie Lee was really good because they had a match at Dreamwave. They had a match at Dreamwave.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Okay.
Liked it a lot. Okay, so we got, what'd you say, Io and Rhea? Is that our next one? Blink twice if yes, once if no.
Io and Ripley.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I'm actually feeling better.
Crazy. Yeah, you're just hacking up a lung every 5 seconds. You got that hairball. Tell Pretty and Noodles to stay away so you can get the cat hair out of your throat. You know what? I'm going with Io. I love Rhea, but like we've said before, Rhea doesn't need the belt. She's still a leader.
Yeah.
She doesn't need the belt. What do you think?
To be different, I'm going to say Rhea wins.
Okay.
Because then I'm curious where they go after going into SummerSlam.
Yeah, because they already have the women's match for SummerSlam for
Yeah, because it's Jade and Tiffany.
right
Or Trish. Tiffany or Trish.
Who faces Io next if she wins?
Asuka.
Yeah.
Seems like they planted the seed for that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but if they're going to bring her back with Kabuki Warriors,
Unless that was just a one-off for the tag title.
it could be.
I mean, they could still be a tag team, and
I mean, because they were all in damage control.
Yep, but Io said there's no more damage control.
Right. But I don't know.
Yeah. All right. WWE Women's Championship.
That could give Stephanie a chance to come up, though. Then we get Io and Stephanie.
Ooh. Whoever wins the battle, if Stephanie wins the Battle Royal, she would get Io at SummerSlam.
No. I thought it was at Clash of the Champions.
No, Clash of Paris, you're right.
Or Clash of Paris.
All right. Moving on here. Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus Women's World Championship. Or
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Yeah, Trish ain't winning the belt.
No. I'm hoping it will be. I'm thinking it'll be a really good match.
I think Trish can get a good match out of Tiffany.
I think Tiffany can get a good match out of Trish.
Maybe they can.
I think that's going to go both ways. I think Trish is going to be there enough to lead Tiffany.
But Tiffany's got the athleticism to.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
Will be there to lead Tiffany, but Tiffany will be there to do what Trish wants her to do.
Yes. Tiffany is coachable. That's the big thing I always hear about her.
Yeah. So I think that again, I think will be a really good match.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Then we have Becky, Lyra, and Bayley.
That's the last one. Intercontinental title. Becky, Bayley, and Lyra. And I think we're all saying Minderz Law. You know what? I'm going to be different. I'm saying Bayley. Okay. I think Bayley will do something slightly shady to
Lyra.
Be a little selfish and screw Lyra over.
Okay, if you're going to do that, then I'll go Minderz Law.
Mm-hmm.
Although my gut's telling me Lyra. But I'm going to go Minderz Law and stick with Becky.
Okay.
Okay, wait. So we both picked...
Becky needs a win. She got her house broken into.
Right? So we're both going Tiffany, right? Let's see who I didn't mark. You said Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
I said Becky.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had everything else. Because I went Naomi, you went Jade. We both went Tiffany. I went Io, you went Rhea. And we both went Roxy and Raquel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we got everything. And then, I said Stephanie and you said Nia.
Right.
Okay. Got it.
All right. So next week we have to make predictions for Slammiversary.
Oh boy.
And depending on when Clash in Paris is, I'm not sure when that shows, but
I don't think it's until after SummerSlam.
Okay.
Because basically after we do Slammiversary, then we gotta get ready for SummerSlam.
Yeah. This is true. All right. Well, Minderz, we have one last piece of business today. We're getting this in right where we needed to be since we started late. Thanks everybody for bearing with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Life happens, but it could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have been last week.
Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway, it is the second Tuesday of the month. You know what that means, Minderz?
I do.
All right.
Nope. Okay.
A little abrupt, but that's all right.
I was going to say, it seemed like it cut off quick.
That's actually my my alarm clock.
Oh, dear Lord.
Macarena, the trumpet piece there. The bullfighter theme.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I said at the top of the show that our Top 10 Tuesday kind of falls in with the tag team match at Evolution.
Yes.
As our subject is top 10 thrown together tag teams, and I'm going to preface this. I could have done a top 20 on this list, Minderz.
Easily. Well, and it depends. Who all are we covering here?
I basically kept mine to, let me find my list.
Like, is ECW thrown in this mix?
ECW's in there, WWE, WCW, TNA was in my honorable mentions.
Okay. ROH? Any ROH? So basically from all the big ones. From all the big ones from our childhood on up. Gotcha.
Well, I'll just start off with my honorable mentions that I had that didn't make my top 10.
Well, hold on. AJ's got one. Well, is that in your list? Look at AJ's comment.
That is on my list. So
all right, I'll just hold off on it then.
Okay. All right. So my honorable mentions that I could have put on the list, but I didn't.
Okay. All right.
The American Wolves.
Okay.
Eddie Richards, Eddie Edwards. They were originally thrown together in ROH.
And are now brilliant, or they were brilliant.
They were
Love
great.
them. Yep.
They talk about a team
them.
that gelled.
Right. They worked really well together.
Yeah. Van Dam and Kane.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah. The Colossal Connection, Andre and Haku.
I
know they were in the same family, but it was kind of a post King Haku, somebody take the bumps for Andre kind of thing. Let's see. Owen Hart and Yokozuna. Raven and Tommy Dreamer, ECW.
Mm-hmm.
Rudolph, one of my favorite tag teams from the last 5 years. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, which I've perpetually called Rudolph. And then Simon and Swinger. We talked about that with Johnny Swinger last week.
I really thought you were going to put that on the list.
Man, they almost made it.
Simon Diamond and Johnny Swinger.
Yep. Beer Money AJ is not on the list.
Okay, so I'll throw that one up.
But,
so there's an honorable mention.
But man, they could have been on there, though. They were such a good team. All right. Number 10.
I was going to say, I don't know what this list is, so I can't even help you with this.
Okay. WCW for number 10.
Okay.
Marcus Bagwell and Too Cold Scorpio.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of Too Cold Scorpio.
Uh-huh.
Him in that match, last week? With Effie? No.
Yeah, I think it was Effie. No, Effie was Mike Jackson last week.
No, one was Mike Jackson. No, it was Effie. Because
Okay.
one night it was Effie, and the next night it was Too Cold Scorpio.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And Scorpio can still go.
Yeah, he can. Holy crap.
But this is the tag team called the Let's Show Just How White Marcus Bagwell Is.
Right?
If you didn't think he could look more ridiculous than the Buff era, look at the pompadour and the...
I was going to say, hold my beer.
Uh-huh.
Hold my mama.
All right. Number 9, Minderz, going to ECW.
Okay.
Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck.
That was... yeah.
2-time tag champs, though.
Yeah.
In that period when Mikey wasn't hitting any offensive moves whatsoever.
Right? And he wasn't laughing all the time.
No. And no sinister minister to be found.
No sinister minister to be found.
No. All right, number 8. Kane and the Big Show.
See, this doesn't surprise me as much.
No. But they were both established singles guys that they put as a team.
Oh, jeez. I don't think you have this one. Do you have any AEWs?
I have no AEWs. I certainly don't have the Golden Jets on there.
I got Omega and Chris Jericho.
Which I thought was actually a decent team as far as the pairing. They're both from Winnipeg, both blonde. They have a history. I thought it worked.
Yeah.
And Kenny got hurt. All right. Number 7 might get some people mad at me, Minderz.
Uh-oh. You know what? Not at all.
They had 3 matches and they never won a championship.
Exactly.
And Hogan had lust in his eyes.
Yeah. Well, that was looks like he's got something else in his veins, but
No.
I'm just saying.
They both
look
look like they got into the happy fun time powder there.
Yeah, a little bit. Little bit.
Yeah. And as you know, I sided with Macho in the whole thing.
Oh, I know you
I
did.
thought Hogan was the actual heel in that split.
Yes.
All right. Number 6. All right. As asked earlier, rated RKO, Edge and Randy Orton.
Okay, now I can put this one up. Yay!
I really like them as a team.
I did too. I
They
liked rated
mashed up their
RKO.
theme musics perfectly.
Well, they're both a couple of rockers. What do you expect?
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No.
All right, let me see if I can tell what the next one.
Number 5.
Oh, okay.
Bulldog and Owen. I had to put them up ahead of Owen and Yoko just because they had a better run.
Yeah, but again, thrown together? Brother-in-laws.
They were brother-in-laws, but when they first started teaming up, it was because Yoko wasn't there. But no, it was Owen and Yoko were champs, and then they had to throw Bulldog into the group because Owen wasn't there. And then after Yoko turned heel, then they were just stuck together and they got put as a tag team because Bulldog was mainly a single guy in late '95, early '96.
Right. Okay.
Plus, any excuse I get to put those two guys on a list, I'm good with.
Yeah, I know. You're excited.
I was. All right, number 4, a little more modern here. The Miz and John Morrison.
Okay.
They had a really good run, a lot of titles.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things they didn't know what to do with either one of them, so they put them as a tag team.
Right. I always love those are always kind of fun.
I kind of enjoyed the dirt sheet on the WWE.com when they did the little talk segment.
Yeah. They had the squirt guns though.
Well, I'm talking like OG Miz and Morrison from like
okay.
2009, 2010.
Okay. Not the squirt guns from like
No,
a couple
not
years
squirt
ago.
gun, Miz and Morrison. That ruined it.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, you're going to like this one, Minderz.
Am I? The park!
Arrgh, as they say in Scotland.
Wait, take it down.
Oh, yeah.
We are the bar. We are the bar.
Yeah. And we enjoy going to the bar.
Not anymore, but
No,
it happens. No, yeah. Sheamus and Cesaro.
Such a good run.
Such a good run. I love those two together. Although that was wasn't that when Cesaro busted his teeth? Yeah.
The Swiss Cyborg.
The Cyborg. Yeah, Swiss Cyborg.
AJ, they are not on my list. Heath Slater and Rhino, but
that was a good one to be thrown together. Yep. Yeah. He's got kids.
All right. Number 2. And I kind of wanted to have them at number 1, but I couldn't do it. Hollywood Blondes. Austin and Pillman.
Yeah, because they were thrown together, but then they found out they worked really well together.
And then they
decided
that they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I really liked them as a team, though.
Steve Austin with hair. It's so
Yeah.
messed up.
Brian Pillman pre-loose cannon.
I think he was still loose cannon at that point. He just hit it really well.
Right. You can't hide the name is hiding the fact that they are the unified WCW NWA tag champs at this point.
Ah, gotcha.
All right. And do I have a drum roll? I do.
You should.
But for number 1, Minderz.
Uh-huh.
Our number 1 greatest thrown together tag team. The New Age Outlaws. Like 2 singles guys languishing in the lower mid card that they decided to put as a tag team. I think it was Cornette's idea.
Go figure.
But
it doesn't surprise me.
But they parlayed that into 7, I think, tag team championships. And
an angry Minderz.
Oh yes, and a slightly forgettable TNA run in the as the Voodoo Kin Mafia. I like the James Gang though.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as thrown together tag teams, I think they made the most out. They definitely have the most tag titles out of any of these teams.
I was kind of surprised that that Danielson and Kane wasn't on there.
Oh, Team Hell No?
Yeah, Team Hell No.
I always forget about that. It's like Braun Strowman and Nicholas.
Oh yeah, that was definitely thrown together.
Uh-huh.
That
John
was
Coles,
dumb,
hey,
though.
can my kid get a booking?
Yeah, I was gonna say the kid wasn't even out of grade school and got a booking. What the hell?
They
Ugh.
take a bump. Come on, pay your dues, kid.
Right?
All right. So that is our top 10 Tuesday. This-
Make sure to join us tomorrow, as we will be on the Independent Wrestling Shootout, and we've got so much wrestling talk about on that.
Yes.
I'm
And we'll be
salty.
joined by the King of Thrash, Justin Poole.
And I'm still salty.
And you're still mad at me. I thought
Yep.
you would have got over it by now, but that's neither here nor there.
Well,
This
as long as nothing crazy happens after I get off podcast tonight,
right.
tomorrow will happen.
Yes. Friday, we will have a new episode of the Extreme FN Review. Minderz, I threw a curveball. I told you I was gonna re-air the Swinger interview. I wound up throwing up the Angel interview.
You did Angel. I was gonna say, I
did
noticed you did
because we've
Angel.
discussed Angel on that podcast. We haven't
We
got
did.
the Swinger yet. So I threw up the Angel one. But this week we'll be back to TNN, the post Hardcore Heaven show.
Yes.
So
And we still need to record.
We will be recording that tomorrow.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And like I said, tomorrow we kind of talk about a lot of independence. And
well, and we got to talk about results from some results from 0-1.
Yeah.
We got to talk about GCW. We got to talk about we've got PWE coming up this weekend. We've got No One Fights Alone. We've got Dreamwave. We've got AVW. We've got is that everybody?
I think that's everybody.
Or close anyway.
Yes.
But yeah.
All right.
We got lots of picking to do tomorrow too.
Yes.
Damn.
Well, Minderz, I have to go get my car. So what do we call this an episode?
Let's call it.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. Until next time, for Minderz, this is Reb. Reminding y'all, life is hard, work stiff. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.